Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Tuesday, June 11th, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. Now, last week, someone said that I was a little bit of a buzzkill, a dream killer. I am not. All I am doing is reacting to the information that you guys present to us. And when you say, what do you think? Do you think it's okay if I do blank? The answer is always dependent on your situation. Now, you can go ahead and do something that I think might not be the best idea for you, and we'll tell you the least bad way to do it. And if that's the case, don't be afraid. I am not here to crush your dreams. I'm here to help you make better financial decisions, ones that are consistent with what you want to do today, but also whatever you want to do in the future. And I think that's really what Mark and I are trying to do. We're both certified financial planners. We love having these conversations. If you'd like to get in touch with us, go to our website, jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Write us your note. And of course, do let us know if you would like to join us live on the air. Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget, we've got a lot of great stuff there. We've got the free weekly newsletter. We've got the blog. We've got resources. And you should absolutely check out our YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound, where you too might become a Jillionaire. Okay, today we are talking to George, who's on the line from Connecticut. Hello, George. How are you?
Hello, Jill and Mark. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. What's going on? How can we help you?
So I am one of those people. When I say I should say we, because my wife, she's the real boss. She and I have started early, at saving early and following some pretty good financial principles. And we've started to accumulate some decent amount of money, I think. But I'm also worried that it's with our younger ages, it's still not going to be enough by the time we retire.
Okay. How old are you guys?
I'm 40 and my wife is 39.
Okay. Are you both working full time?
We both are, yes.
How much do you guys earn together?
Together, we earn $300,000 a year.
Okay. And are you both working for organizations? Anyone self-employed in this couple?
No, we're both W-2s.
Okay. And are you making retirement plan contributions off of that combined $300,000 of household income?
We are, and up until, I'll ask you about this too, but up until very recently, we were making the maximum contributions, 22,500, 23,000, in a mix of traditional and Roth.
Okay.
We also get company matches. My match is about 7%. Her match is about 5%.
Okay, that's great.
And just recently, we purchased another car and borrowed money on it, and I want to get it paid off as quickly as possible, so I pulled back on the 401k contributions. So
how much is how much is the car loan? What amount?
Well, we have two car loans. The outstanding balance is about $70,000 for the two.
Oh, must be nice cars, Mr. George in Connecticut. Okay. What's the interest rate on these loans?
The one loan at about $30,000 is 6.5%.
Okay.
And the other loan at about $40,000 is 5.5%.
Okay, I got it. And if you look at your total amount of money that you have in traditional and Roth retirement accounts, how much money's in there already?
So we have about $710,000 in traditional.
Wow.
And we started early. That helps. And we have about 108 in Roth.
All right. That's a good chunk of money. Amazing. And you guys own your home?
We do.
What's it worth?
The home's worth about $550,000.
Mortgage outstanding?
Yep, $260,000 at 3%.
You guys got some kids?
We have two little kids, 8 years old and 5-year-old.
Okay. Are you saving for college for them?
We are. We have about $50,000 combined in the 529s for them.
Okay, got it. Are you putting money in on an ongoing basis, or is it like ad hoc? Like, oh, when we see a bunch of money build up in our checking account, then we pop money in. Which way do you fund your 529s?
Monthly. We put in oh, geez, about 550, 600 a month.
That's good. So you got the house. I mean, first of all, everyone listening, if you hear 300,000 of household income, you might be like, "Oh my God, that's a chunk of money." But you live in a fairly high cost state. You have your mortgage, you got the kids, you're putting a ton of money away. And the fact that you borrowed money for the car leads me to believe that you don't have a lot of money outside of retirement. Is that right?
That is correct. We have an HSA worth about 28,000 right now. We have about 11,000 in a brokerage, and we have about 30,000 in cash. But
Just like safe emergency reserve.
Emergency reserve, yeah. But up until recently, we've been tightening our belt quite a bit to really shoehorn money away. We haven't had a lot of play, a lot of, I don't want to say disposable income, but
you mean you're not having, are you not having any fun? Poor you. It's not fun to be buckling down like that.
That's a little bit of the truth, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to come out of the state of got to save more, and I guess I kind of want to know when can I let up off the gas a little bit and spend a little more money.
Well, I mean, look, I think that paying the two different car loans, right? The 6.5 and the 5. The 6.5 is the more recent one. Is that a new car recently?
Yep, that's the wife's car.
The 40,000 at 5.5%. How many more years are left on that?
3 years, I believe, left on that.
So these kind of do go away. The brokerage account. Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
Is that just fun money?
You know, that was money that way back in the low interest days, I was considering refinancing my mortgage down to a 15-year, and it was 2
Thank
point
God
something.
you didn't do. By the way, thank God you didn't do that. I mean, your cash flow would look really not so hot if that were the case.
Agreed. And I looked at how much extra per month it would be, did the math, and said, you know, if I just invested this in a brokerage account, I'm going to come out 3x ahead by after 15 years. So that's what I did. And that's what I did. I just started sticking that $300 or $350 a month in a brokerage and forgot about it. Well, didn't forget about it. Invested it.
So you have some gains in there, right?
Yes.
So right now, is it the case that, you know, given you're putting so much money into retirement, now you said you pulled back a little bit, but you're still putting a lot of money in, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, we pulled back to, we basically just cut out, because I didn't want to mess up my tax situation at the end of the year too bad. So we basically just stopped doing the Roth and left traditional alone. So now the missus is at 11% traditional, and I'm at 7.5% traditional.
But you do get nice matches. Now, when you did that, did you feel an immediate sense of relief in terms of the cash flow? Was it better?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it actually felt like we were making good money at that point.
Okay. So then where has that extra money gone at this point? In other words, you've got some relief. And I think the question is, what do you do with that relief? Do you then are you making extra payments on the loans or not?
So since we just bought that car 2 weeks ago, we bought the car, the second car. We have just stopped or just implemented that Roth change back to 0%.
Okay.
So we've only had one paycheck each so it's all pretty new, and it's just going to, the plan was to wipe out the first car and realistically probably just roll all that extra into paying off the second car. Yes,
definitely. I would love that. So there's two other things I would think about. So now that you have that, and you do have a lot of money in retirement, and you're only 40 years old. So that's amazing. And neither of you will get a pension, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So you got so much money in there, you know, $800,000, that you have the ability now to kind of pull back a tiny bit. And yes, I would absolutely use the extra cash flow and pay down the 6.5% loan. And I would make that the priority because obviously it's a higher interest. Another idea, if you just wanted to like kind of make yourself feel better, which is hey, I did well with my brokerage. Maybe I'll just sell that brokerage account out and put 10, 11 grand down on that car, on that 30 grand, and lock in a after tax return of 6.5%, which is a very nice
Sure.
amount of money to just get paid with no risk. So I might consider that unless you're feeling nostalgic about having a brokerage account.
No, it's originally it was there to pay down debt on the house.
Yeah, this is a much better debt to pay down.
Yes.
So if you sold that, you keep a little extra money, put like a few $1,000s in your savings account, because I think you're probably a little light on savings. So I might just say add $5,000 to your savings account, put $6,000 down on the 6.5% loan, direct all extra payments to that 6.5% loan, and whittle that down. And once that's done, then concentrate on the 40, which, by the way, is going to happen more naturally anyway, because it's going to be done in 3 years anyway, but you'll get that paid off. I presume you guys will be debt free. And, by the time you're 43 years old, this is all going to get done. And the other option for you, which I think might be maybe slightly weird, would be to also at the exact same time cut back a tiny bit on the 529s. Because you do have 50 grand in there, and you could say, well, instead of 600 a month, let's do 400 a month, and you could certainly do that if you want to accelerate this whole thing. Look, if you had car loans that were 2%, we wouldn't have this conversation. They're a real enough interest rate that it matters. And once the debt is done, I think that the next question is, hey, should we just keep putting as much money into retirement? Should we direct all this extra cash flow into some retirement, some kids? Do we want to build up our non-retirement brokerage account again? But I don't know, we'll see where you are. I think it's going to take you a year or two, obviously, but it may be a less amount of time if you have a great year. I mean, do you guys get bonuses? Is there any upside in that $300,000 income?
That's that includes the average bonus size in there. So,
Okay.
Normally we get a touch more, but that we're talking 5,000 or 10,000 more a year, which is great, which we're grateful for. But
yeah, but I mean, if you happen to have a great year, amazing, and you can certainly go and make an adjustment, right? If you have a great year and you can be like, oh my God, we had a great year, let's put a little bit more down on the car. But you'll get this done. But I mean, I have to say, Mark's probably already pounding his calculator right now. $800,000, Mark, right now for 40-year-olds, pretty good, right? We're looking at the next 10, let's just look 10 years at, and you'll be 50 only. I mean, I presume you're going to work till these kids are done with college. So you got 15 years to go at least, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's at a minimum work until they're out of college.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that we could look ahead and really see that the money you have saved already gives you the flexibility to do just that, which is pull back a little bit, but you're putting money away. Again, like you said, because you're putting away 7.5%, and then you get the 7% match, and your wife's putting away 11%, and she's getting a 5% match. There's a lot of money going away. And so, Mark, in 10 years, 800 grand, grow it at a normal rate of return, not like an insane, do 6% for the heck of it, just for fun. 10 years.
Yeah, that's with no contributions. You're looking at, probably 1.5 in 15 years with no contributions, almost 2 million, and you're going to be contributing. So
exactly. This is what I really feel. I have to say, this is so important to me, which is you've done a lot of hard work, which is great. You're going to have different options as you look ahead, but we'll figure that out then. But now you're doing an incredible, incredible job. Truly.
Wonderful. That's reassuring to hear. Thank you for that.
Now, can I ask a more boring question? Do you guys have life insurance? Do you have your estate documents done? Have you done that stuff in your fancy big car?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that. We did our will about maybe 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
And, very common, my stuff goes to her stuff goes to me type thing.
Sure.
But, and in the will, we had split our assets evenly amongst the children.
Mm-hmm.
at the time, my daughter wasn't born yet. So I don't know if it makes sense.
She's out of it. She just doesn't get anything. You know what? Go back to an attorney. Go to an attorney and say, we have sweetheart wills. We have one extra kid. Is there anything that needs to be updated? That's all I would do. It's probably written in such a way that you don't have to do it, because it usually is like, the kids we have and any in the future would be treated like blank. But in case you didn't, I would just have someone look at it just for the heck of it.
That makes sense.
What about life insurance? Do you guys have life insurance?
We do. I have $1 million outside of work on myself, and my company does 6x salary. So,
hello.
Yeah,
that'll pay off a lot of car loans. Tell your wife, you know what? When you and your next husband use these proceeds and pay off all the loans.
Exactly, with your beach house in Fiji.
Right. Exactly.
And the wife has not quite as much, but I think add it all up, she's at about $1.5 million of life insurance.
That sounds good. Good. George from Connecticut, we are so glad that you reached out to us. Pay down those loans. And if you're listening and you've got a similar situation where, you've done a lot of saving so far, but life is life, man. It comes on, and there's car loans and there's kids and there's things that you want to do. If there's some issues that you have about your real life that touch your money, give us a shout. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and of course, let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air. Don't forget to subscribe to our service. It's called Jill on Money Live for $35, 4 quarterly webinars, bonus video content, and our next webinar is at the end of this month. I am excited for this one. It is Tuesday, June 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are focusing on Social Security. Anyone who's over the age of 50, frankly, should be very hyper-focused on this. And anyone under the age of 50, hey, don't you want to know whether Social Security will be there for you? We've got an expert, friend of Ed Slott, Heather Schreiber, will be joining us. So check that out. For $35 for the full year, you'll be able to join us with Heather at the end of this month. Okay, don't forget you can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.